There are some women that are women of substance, especially Black American women, women that are intelligent, women that know what the society is all about, women that see things far before every other single race. One thing a lot of people have not literally done is to calm down, sit down, and listen to Black American women when they talk. The moment you calm down, listen to them, you will now understand the parts they are coming from. And you will know that these women are not only educated, but they know what it means to have what is called education. I want you guys to watch this video because these ladies left no stone unturned. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to the original creator of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And I want to tell you this. If you literally do not know who you are going to listen or watch their videos, especially as a white person, look for Black women and tell them, talk to me, ma. I am available to listen. And trust me, you will never lack wisdom. Let's dive right into this video and let me know your honest opinion, what you think about this video, and I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go, guys.
White women, because you're going to see how many white women still voted against their own best interests. This is not going to just be an I told you so. This is going to be the last straw breaking for me when it comes to white women. Politically, no white woman is to be trusted. I've tried to do the things that other creators want to do and reach across the aisle to y'all and try to extend an olive branch, but just like y'all fucked us over with this Roe v. Wade bullshit, y'all have yet again shown us that you only see your power in your whiteness and not your womanhood. However, let y'all and y'all want every other race of woman to rally behind you based on your womanhood. Because we all have to be in this together, right? White women have never been powerful for being women. Your whiteness is where your power is. Other races of women had to find power in our womanhood because we were denied access to power based on our skin color. And please understand that your whiteness only has power in it because white men gave it to you. In yourselves, you're weak as fuck. And if you didn't make white babies, these white men wouldn't see it for y'all either. White men propping y'all up on this pedestal, making y'all the standard of beauty, making y'all think that you're such a damsel in distress that they have to rescue all the time, is nothing more than white men knowing that they need y'all to keep making them. If it wasn't for the fact that they can't make white children with other women, they would cut y'all loose and would have done it centuries ago. And yet y'all have the audacity to get on the internet and try to tell women that they need to work alongside y'all trifling asses because y'all fuck up and then y'all require the power and support of every other race of woman because the white men in your community will not help y'all at all. When I say work alongside y'all, what I really mean is we do all the work and y'all take all the credit and benefits from all of that labor for nothing. The way y'all played us in Texas, the way y'all played us in Georgia, after sitting on this app not even 3-4 months ago, screaming from your rooftops about how y'all need to work alongside black women, how we need to listen to black women because we don't know what we're doing, when the entire time, like I said in that first stitch, y'all know exactly what you're doing. You're not voting against your own best interests, you're voting to protect your white privilege. We see each other. Oh, and please miss me in my fucking comments, doing what y'all are doing in other people's comments, talking about, well, I tried. Oh, well, you can't speak for us and tell us what we're doing. How are you speaking on white women? Ain't nobody been spending more time staring at white women and figuring y'all out than black women. If anything, us and y'all white men are the ones that got y'all clocked more than a motherfucker. Oh, y'all gassed Beto up in Texas, right? On social media, at least. You gassed Stacey Abrams up on social media for the public to see. But then when you got into that private polling booth, you took off your BLM bio and put on your white hood. Let this go as my declaration of divestation, bitches. And I've been telling y'all this about men, about white people, about this country for years. And y'all don't want to listen because you hate hearing the truth. Y'all are the ones out here that need to believe that these white men don't want things to be the way that they are and that they just need to learn differently. No. America was founded on the enslavement of black people, on the genocide of indigenous people. White women had no rights. Children were being raped. Children were being married off to old white perverted men. When they said they wanted to make America great again, this is the again they were talking about. And please don't be surprised when y'all wake up Tuesday morning and these same people go out and choose violence at the polls. They have seen the world change and they don't like it. And they are going to weaponize all of the fake privilege that they have really given themselves to guarantee that they get their way again. And what's going to really have y'all gooped and gagged on Wednesday and Thursday when y'all start seeing the breakdown of all these poll numbers and who voted for who is how many black and brown people helped these motherfuckers do it. Y'all are going to be out here making the same videos you made attacking white women because you're going to see how many white women still voted against their own best interests. As if white women have ever voted for their own best interests. Y'all don't like me. Y'all don't like my option because I tell y'all there are only two that are viable and would work. But because it's not something that y'all are prepared to do, you rather try to change the hearts of people that are heartless. You rather change the minds of people that are all of one mind. You know, like Legion. And I'm not telling y'all not to go vote. It's imperative that you do. Because they don't want you to play Jumanji with them. Because they know that if they keep you in the jungle and never let you roll your dice, that you ain't never getting out of it. Rich white men in this country, in politics especially, are doing to America what Elon Musk has done to Twitter. In case y'all didn't know it already, racism is America's default setting. And it's proven every time white America works so hard against things that would only make it better for them and everybody else. White America has historically and even to this day worked so hard against its own best interests simply because anything that could have helped them was connected to somebody black. The way y'all will vote against your own best interests, work so hard to dismantle things that would only have spared you the grief that is your healthcare system right now is very telling. Because the fact that Obamacare was called Obamacare was no accident. It was just better healthcare for you and everybody else. Which could have spared y'all a lot of the grief that you're going through right now in Georgia, but all over the country as well. Because your need to hate us causes you to screw yourselves over. Look at critical race theory, which is nothing more than accurate American history, no longer being edited, redacted, and whitewashed by the colonizer. The majority of you people arguing against it know nothing about the concept. You don't understand how it would be implemented in a K through 12 lesson plan in any way. None of you read the books that you want banned. But because Tucker Carlson and your Facebook bigoted groups have told you that this is bad and it's connected to black people, you're running for the hills and doing everything that you can to pretend to cry in front of a school board meeting to stop it from happening. America is so racist that the racism of the racist isn't even seen as racist because it's so natural to be this way towards other people that it's not even seen as racism. Racism has to be so violent and extreme to y'all for y'all to even acknowledge it half the time. And even then, you want to see the whole video first. America is so racist that you enjoy the carnage of the racism. Even when you're disgusted by it and shocked and appalled, you watch the whole thing and then rewind and play it again. America never conquered a single savage. It was colonized by savages. We honor dead enslavers. Y'all sit there, break bread, and have a nice meal to celebrate coming to this country and brutalizing and taking the lives of thousand upon thousand of indigenous people. And then, mind you, y'all do the same thing with lynchings, having picnics. What is it with y'all trying to have a nice meal while people are losing their lives? And then celebrating it after the fact. Like, what's wrong with y'all? What used to be considered minstrelsy is now y'all's version of appropriation. Appreciation. Instead of gathering up the good old boys, getting in the pickup truck, and taking out a whole town of black people, now you just call it gentrification.
White people need to learn how to challenge authority instead of challenging minorities. Okay? Now wait, listen. white people have this innate need every time there's a black person, Latino person, Arab person, person of color who says something that they either disagree with or feel like they disagree with or feel like they are the anomaly outside of that group of things that the person of color is talking about. They're just like, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong, or what about this, or what about me, or how about this? But I'm just like, y'all have all this energy towards a minority who says something that you don't like, but when it comes to an authority figure that you don't like and they say something wrong, well, it's just like, oh, it's fine, or oh, they didn't mean it, or oh, I'm sure they were saying something else, or oh, just ignore that altogether, or oh, I have no power to change that, or oh, I don't know. It's just like, what do you, it's just like all these, y'all get every excuse in the book for an authority figure. But when it comes to a minority, you're listen, don't take this wrong, but like this is why the word Karen came to be. It was birthed out of white people, white women specifically, feeling like they need to exert their authority over people of color. And that's what it is. It's like, I feel like white people, they have, and I heard this from White Woman Whisperer, she was talking about how white people have authority, like they always feel like they're the father to the father or an authority figure to the authority figure, and they feel like inherently in their hearts that they are an authority figure to people of color. And so they feel like they have this divine right to correct people of color whenever they feel like a person of color is wrong or needs correcting. But they feel like because there's always this hierarchy in life, that whenever someone that they deem as above them, their parents or their grandparents or the police or the government or God, that is telling them to do something that they don't believe in, or that they do something that they think is wrong, they still have to do it because they cannot challenge authority. And that's why they also get so upset when people of color push back on them, because inside of them they see that as someone who is in a position of less authority pushing back on them, the authority. Are y'all listening? White people, y'all don't know it, but you have this inherent feeling inside of you that you are a authority figure to people of color. Like, that has been ingrained in you all since the reception of the United States of America, is that white people are the authority over people of color. Like, that y'all have always been placed on top, and from a political, financial, economic, like social standpoint, you all have always been placed legally, literally legally given the authority over people of color. And that culture has never went away. It has went away on paper, mostly, kinda, but in practice and in reality, it never went away. And so a lot of you have in your minds, even though you don't know you have it in your minds, but you have it in your minds that what you think and what you feel and what you have to say is more important or more authoritative than the person of color who is speaking, because you are. Because you do, because it is. Like, whatever you have to say, you just genuinely with all your heart feel like it is more important or more legitimate than a person of color. And that, I'm not gonna lie, pisses me off. It pisses me off because, like, I talk about racism a lot on the page, and so the amount of white people who come into my page, especially this, I'm never gonna forget this post I made about blonde hair being racist, and every single white woman in all of America came into my page to tell me I'm wrong. And I'm just like, how can you as a white person tell me as a black person who has studied history, studied racism, studied socialism, studied public health, studied population, studied all these things through the lens of racism? How are you gonna come and tell me that I am wrong about racism? Someone who has experienced racism, a black woman who has experienced racism on many occasions in her life, overtly, covertly, and any other kind of way, you're gonna tell me you know more about racism than me. And so, and the excuse is that they feel like I don't know about what they like. Like, you're just like, oh, I like blonde hair because blonde hair is, I just prefer that. I just prefer my hair lighter. And it's just like, but when I ask them, why do you prefer that? Where did that belief that blonde hair is more pretty or more beautiful, where did that belief come from? They're just like, it just is. You don't question your thoughts. Don't question your beliefs. Don't question where a preference came from. You're thinking too deep. Now you're too woke. Now you're too woke. Now I'm the woke friend. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna just leave that there. I'm a little traumatized from that post, not gonna lie. But that is what it is white people love challenging minorities, but they cannot for the life of them challenge authority.
This one's not going to sit well with some of y'all, but I feel like I speak for my people when I say all of this. Y'all ever notice how white people sound just like men when women talk about sexism? What do we hear? Not all men, right? That's the same energy y'all give when we talk about racism. Not me. I would never. I love black people. It's like clockwork. We see it coming. Every time. A few months ago, I posted a video about a world without Black people, and y'all, the comments were flooded with me, I. Not the history, not the pain, not the reality, just you. Do you get how wild that is? We're literally spelling out how this country was built on our backs, how the systems are still eating us alive. And instead of sitting with that, you center yourself. It's no different from a man interrupting a woman's story of assault just to say, well, I would never. Congratulations, you want a cookie for basic decency? Meanwhile, the system that protects you is still killing us. And don't tell me it's not that bad. Trump is back in the White House. Police budgets are fatter than ever. Schools are under attack. Voting rights are being gutted. Book bans multiplying. And you're worried about making sure that no one thinks that you're racist. That's ego. It's not allyship. So stop apologizing. Stop announcing that you're one of the good ones. Stop making it about you. If the only thing that you can contribute to this conversation is a defense of your own image, you're not helping. You're proving the point. Because here's the truth. Racism doesn't need your permission to keep killing us. It just needs your silence. Do something about it.
Black people are gaslit time and time again, but the one trope that gets on my nerves the most is the one where white people are like, well, why does everything have to be about race? You all make everything about race. I'm colorblind. I didn't even notice that person was Black. You all focus on race too much. Honey, you invented it. You invented these tiers due to skin color. You didn't even allow for people to receive health care unless it was attached to employment because of race. Our laws are built due to race. The way that you all implement shit in this country is due to race. Who we decide get certain jobs and political careers is due to race, even to this day. And you have the nerve to gaslight Black people asking, why does everything have to be about race? Because now we are pointing out all the things that y'all made about race. And when we point it out, you tell us, why are we making it about race when, baby, it is because of your deficiencies and mutations that we are even here today.
Are you an anti-racist white person who considers shouting other white people down until they are compliant to you or agree with you a form of accountability? If that is you, you might actually be missing a key part of anti-racism work, which is the embodiment. Hey, my name is Jessica Denise Dixon, and I use the Enneagram to help people dismantle internalized white supremacy from their nervous systems so that they can live free and be fully human. I have noticed over the years this pattern of white people yelling at each other and calling it accountability. That's you. I want you to consider that you actually might be upholding white supremacy with the way that you're trying to hold people accountable. Let's talk about a few things that actually do uphold white supremacy rather than lead to liberation. One is expecting immediate change from someone when something new is presented to them. Another is taking people's questions as a form of them skirting accountability in some way, rather than understanding that people actually have questions. Silencing someone, so like shouting them down, yelling at them so much that they just clam right up. And another is just expecting them to be as far as you are on your journey when they have just been presented with something. Accountability is firm, but it is not cruel. Transformation is a process, not a one-time event. You have to ask yourself whether accountability is just you in a fight response. Remembering that fight these days is a lot of intellectual bullying, goading, sarcasm, and not the historical fight to the death with your body kind of fighting. When you yell someone into agreement with you, it's not necessarily that they agree. It's often triggering either a fawn response or a freeze response and not giving actual transformation. Instant transformation is a performance. We want to be people who are moving into embodiment, away from philosophizing or intellectualizing. Idea of accountability is yelling at people until they change, you are probably dysregulated and not actually a very safe person, even if you're just doing it to white people. And what I'm offering as another option is actually repatterning your nervous system so that it's no longer patterned to uphold the norms of white supremacy so that you can actually do something different. So that your nervous system is actually primed for real change. Serious about liberation and freedom and anti-racism, please consider embodying this work so that you can hold space for people's transformation rather than coercing them. From love and for liberation, peace.
I don't know what white person needs to hear this, but calling you out for your racism is not harassment. Holding you accountable for your racism is not harassment. If you have harmed an entire community, you have said something, done something that caused harm to an entire community or a person, specifically a black person. If you have done some sort of harm and you are called out for that, the public holding you accountable is cause and effect. It is outrage over something you have done to provoke people. That is not harassment. Harassment has a legal definition, and people responding to your hate and racism does not fall under that. I don't care how many lawsuits you file. I don't care how many pro bono lawyers you have. It does not fall under that. Harassment is unwarranted, unprovoked, keyword unprovoked, and unwanted repeated contact. That is what harassment is. And if you say or do something that's wrong, people catch you, expose you, and hold you accountable for that, you shouldn't have done it. People calling you out is not harassment. So I talk all the time about being a troll and dragging people online, and sure, that part of my job is fun, but what I do is activism. I only get involved when I see a black person or a person of color being harmed. So if I'm involved and I'm speaking up, I'm amplifying the story of somebody else. It is very rarely, it is my personal experience when I'm involved as an activist. So I don't want what I say and do to be reduced to just social media chatter. Because yeah, I've seen a lot of people get dragged, but that is the public reacting to something you did. I've never made anything up. Just because you weaponize your tears and play the victim and people flock to defend you does not mean you are not wrong. That does not mean the things that you are doing are okay. That faux vulnerability and the fake crying and accusing people of bullying you, when you have done something outrageous to harm people and they are holding you accountable. I think we need to clarify the difference between harassment and defamation and people calling you out on your shit. And calling you out on your shit when you provoke people is actually not illegal. But weaponizing the legal system against black people and people of color, I have to say, that is right on brand.
Oh no, Miss Thing. You see, to live in somebody's head rent-free means that you are going about your daily business, minding your business, living your life, and someone comes at you to poke unprovoked, to bring you into conversations unprovoked, to talk about you or antagonize you or do anything that might get some sort of rise or reaction out of you unprovoked. You know, like what women have been doing to black women on all over this app. That's living in someone's head rent-free. Now, women are living in black women's heads, but y'all do pay rent. Y'all pay a hefty fee to be in our heads. Let me explain. You see, when you do things like try to poke and antagonize and get a rise out of black women, when we're doing nothing but trying to thrive in our own lives and minding our own business, what happens is we see you doing that behavior and we call you out on it and we tell you, hey, this is not cool. Don't appreciate it. Can you stop? And what usually happens is y'all don't listen. Y'all continue with said behavior. Y'all continue to cross boundaries and you continue to disrespect us. So although we do come and approach and talk about your problematic behavior, never ever think that it is without consequence. Don't ever think you are not paying rent, because it comes with a hefty price. You see, we no longer trust you. We don't want you around us. We don't value your opinions, nor do we seek unity with you. And here's the other one, and listen closely. When y'all get into a scrap with Big Daddy Patriarchy and you need somewhere to run, don't run over here. When y'all need somebody to show y'all how to lead movements for your causes that benefit you, when y'all need somebody to come and be your backbone, don't come over here. Figure it out. Because disrespect is going to be met with. So don't ever think that you are living in the minds of Black women rent-free. Baby, our time is money, and our voices are of immeasurable worth. So if we are stopping what we're doing, stopping our lives to address you, best believe it is not just for your benefit, it is for ours, because we value our peace. And we're trying to let you know, hey, I see you. And if this behavior continues, you're going to find yourself a one-way ticket back to where you came from. And you know, we always try to do these things out of love, at least the first time. But after the first time, we're matching energies.
You can now see reasons why I said if you don't have anybody to listen to, especially as a white folks, listen to Black people, listen to Black women, because they have the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding. Now, we all know that racism has been one of the greatest things that has eaten deep into the US system, because a lot of them are trying to compare themselves with Black people. A lot of them are trying to make things look as if Black people are not even worth it, even when Black people knew that they are fully worth it. That is the stage where we are. And as far as I'm concerned, these stages are not just going to just go off all of a sudden. In fact, the system has been built that at the end of the day, the only people that are permitted to suffer, the only people that are permitted to be racially profiled, the only people that are permitted to be racist profile, permit me to use that word, are Black people. And you see why I keep saying in my videos, I said white women has a lot of job to do on their husband. You can hear from these particular clips that I actually played for you guys. These women has a lot of things to do to their husband. They have a lot of work to be done, because I feel like they are the only ones that keep passing every single information that these men are working with. One thing I love about the Black community or the Black women is they know how to tell their husband, if you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. And they know how to follow their husband amicably. But one thing I've noticed with these white folks is allowing their husbands just go into different environment. That is why you will see a white man racially profiling a Black guy, and the wife will be screaming in the background, and she will literally be supporting every single scenarios that is happening. Have you not noticed that it is never common with the Black community? I have never seen, I'm saying about myself, I'm not saying that Black people don't have their own, right? But I have never seen 4 years on YouTube, 4 freaking years. I have never literally seen a Black man racially profiling a white woman, and the wife is echoing, supporting, chanting, jumping, screaming at the background. I have not. If you have seen, please recommend me to that particular video. I really want to watch that particular video. But I have literally seen over 100 clips of different videos of a white man racially profiling a Black person, and you see the wife supporting, shouting, go back to your country, the country you never built, the country you never had any respect for, the country you never contributed to, because every single thing you are literally enjoying is coming from the Black community. So don't you think it is time as a white woman to sit down, reflect on your life, and be like, I need to put my husband in order. I need to chain that dog. Don't you think so? I feel like if we learn to do better, the community would definitely grow very well. Just imagine every single white woman trying her possible best to educate her children, educate her husband, that, oh, this thing is actually not good. Look at it this way. Why not we sit down and see exactly what this racism is all about? This thing is actually killing the society. I believe that a lot of men would have been able to change their ways in different aspects. Now, when I mean white, I'm not talking about every single white person, because there are good white folks out there that understood what racism has literally done to the system. And you see them with videos of, oh, I was a racist before, but I have to change. This was actually what made me to change. I noticed that this was actually not making sense. Oh, my wife actually talked me into changing. Oh, I have to teach my children, train my children not to be who I am, because the identity is dirty, is not making sense, and so on and so forth. And I applaud them for that, because it is not easy for you to know that this thing is wrong. You are admitting that this particular thing is actually wrong. And that's why I pray that a lot of white folks do better, so that the society can be convenient with, even if it's not 100%, at least let's get 70%. It is not bad. But anyways, let me know what you think about this video. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches I use in my today's episode. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. And yes, guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I talk also in my videos. I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah. I love you.